Now, last night during a live stream on my Here's the Deal channel, we went over this Memphis gunman primarily, specifically, and I was clear about this in the first 1 or 2 minutes of the video. We were doing a PSA, public service announcement, just in case somebody didn't get their Amber Alert, or they didn't send an Amber Alert. Maybe you're not on Twitter. Maybe you don't, listen to the radio or anything. The reason I did that, and I felt like it was so vital to go live, is because this guy, Ezekiel Kelly, the reported shooter, was going through Memphis and in some parts of Arkansas, just shooting people and live streaming it. So, and we'll go over the, kind of the conclusion of this story right here in a second. But it was this video right here that I did live. The name of it is Urgent. This man is reportedly shooting people while he's live streaming. Well, I wake up this morning and the video is not there. It was taken down. It was removed by YouTube, and they gave me a strike, which, it's the first strike, so it's a warning, but that warning never goes away. And then the very next warning you get ends up being strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, you're out. So I appealed this, but here's what they said right here. Our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our violent criminal organizations policy. Now, this is a YouTuber who, because he cares about people in this world, wanted to do a public service announcement in case you weren't aware of it. And maybe you should be on the lookout for it so we can apprehend this guy so he can stop hurting people. But YouTube misconstrued that as violent criminal organization, like I'm promoting a violent criminal organization. Wait till I wasn't even aware of the violent criminal organization policy in their community guidelines. We've removed the following content. That's this one, Urgent. This man is reportedly shooting people in Memphis right now. And it was urgent for us to go live. The way I got tipped off on it was on Twitter. Somebody uploaded the video, and it actually had a video of the guy walking into an AutoZone, pointing a gun at somebody who's just got done shopping at AutoZone, and you know what happens after that. And then that was taken down by Twitter. So there's all this censorship. This is why I can't stand censorship. If people want to see this content, nobody's twisting their arm to go look for this content. Nobody's making them, forcing their eyes in front of a TV or forcing them to have content come into their eye gates and their ear gates. They're going out looking for it. But then somebody else goes, no, I don't want you to go out looking for it. It's like, wait a second, you didn't ask my permission. You didn't get my consent. You just went ahead and took it down. So when people want to look for it or see what's going on, they can't because some government or overlord or some Silicon Valley oligarch thought that they would just go ahead and step in and play your parents. That's what I can't stand about it. Yeah, are there some distasteful and downright evil things out there? Of course, but nobody should be censoring that from you. I don't care how bad it is. Because once you start going down that road of, well, I think this should be censored, and I think that right there is really bad. That should be censored. Oh, and that could offend somebody. Well, wait till you get censored when somebody thinks that what you promoted or what you want to see is offensive. We know this might be disappointing, but it's important that we make YouTube a safe place for all. If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, and I think they did, I know that they did, so I appealed it. And then probably within an hour, maybe an hour and a half, they went ahead and reinstated the video. Oh, another thing that they did was they demonetized my entire channel. The entire channel, for one warning, was demonetized because they said that I broke this violent criminal organization policy. Well, let me show you this violent criminal organization policy, which I was unaware of until today. Violent criminal organization policy. Content intended to praise, promote, or aid violent criminal organizations is not allowed on YouTube. These organizations are not allowed to use YouTube for any purpose, including recruitment. So they were literally categorizing me as an organization that was promoting violent criminal actions. If you find content that violates this policy, report it. Instructions for reporting violations or community guidelines are available here. What this means for you: if you're posting content, don't post content on YouTube if it fits any of the description below. Listen to these descriptions. Content produced by violent criminal or terrorist organizations. Well, we know that's not what happened here. Content praising or memorializing prominent terrorists or criminal figures in order to encourage others to carry out acts of violence. We were encouraging the exact opposite. As a matter of fact, another reason I wanted to go live and do this public service announcement is because the people in the room, specifically my mods, were putting links, and we stayed just a little bit ahead of Fox 23 News in Memphis. We were like a minute to a minute and a half faster than they were in regard to the apprehension of this reported criminal. So not only were we not promoting terrorist activity, we were trying to eliminate the terrorist threat and activity that was harming people, innocent people. Content praising or justifying violent acts carried out by violent criminal or terrorist organizations. Content aimed at recruiting new members to violent criminal organization. Content depicting hostages or posted with the intent to solicit, threaten, or intimidate on behalf of a violent criminal terrorist or terrorist organization. Content that depicts the insignia, logos, or symbols of violent criminal or terrorist organizations in order to praise or promote them. Again, we did the exact opposite. We weren't trying to praise or promote. We were trying to make sure that this guy got apprehended. No matter who did the apprehending, whether it was a Leo or a civilian, didn't matter to us. This guy just needed to be stopped. And then it gives some examples of this, but it was just crazy. I mean, it turned out okay, but it gave a warning. They removed the warning, reinstated the video, and then demonetized the channel. Which is it's just super interesting. So it made me think, okay, did a human make this error, or was it algorithmic and some computer generated software just went in there and it saw certain buzzwords and put together in its logic, oh, this is a video that needs to be removed and this content creator needs a strike and needs to be demonetized. Memphis gunman Ezekiel Kelly, who live streamed the shooting rampage, killed 4 people according to police. So we've already been through all this right here. Memphis police first warned the public to stay away from Kelly, which if you are prepared, if you're armed, if you know what you're doing, maybe you didn't stay away from her, didn't want to stay away from her, or wanted to get in your car with some kind of police scanner and try to chase this guy down and find out what was going on, because you know that you might be a little bit faster than the authorities. They say he was armed and dangerous. On a social media post, police have since connected the alleged killer to at least 8 separate shootings. And that's from yesterday, around 12:56 p.m. or a.m. Kelly allegedly shot and killed a 24-year-old man in his driveway on Glendale Avenue, according to the police chief. Several hours after the initial homicide, Kelly continued his alleged spree, targeting people at random and forcing frightened residents to shelter in place. Around 4:38 p.m., he allegedly shot a man who had been sitting in his car in South Parkway East multiple times. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 minutes later, Kelly reportedly fired his gun at a woman near Norris Road on Interstate 240. She suffered a bullet wound to the leg and was transported to an area hospital in stable condition. Can you imagine that, getting shot in the leg? It probably broke the bone or a couple bones in the leg, depending if it was the top of the leg or the bottom of the leg. Tendons, ruptures, complete muscular damage. Can you imagine the pain that this lady's in this morning? Maybe thankful to be alive, maybe thankful for morphine or whatever, but the bottom line is her leg was damaged by this perpetrator who was intending to do people harm. Just before 6 p.m., the crazed gunman opened fire at an AutoZone store on Jackson Avenue while live streaming the attack. In a screen recording of the Facebook live stream shared widely on social media, Kelly can be seen getting out of the car and walking a few steps into the AutoZone before pulling out a gun and firing it at the man inside the shop twice. The man was hit and was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. I wonder what's going to happen to that guy. The guy he shot, not this guy. I was kind of surprised that they apprehended him, because the way the guy was talking and the way he was acting, it looked like he was kind of spun out on drugs. I was expecting him just to get into a police shootout and either off himself or suicide by cop. Before walking through the front door of the store, Kelly rants on camera about no faking this, you-know-what, for real, according to the live stream. A citizen quickly alerted police about the video, and soon after, the Memphis Police Department issued a public alert regarding Kelly and the vehicle he was reportedly driving. Shortly after the alert went out, Kelly allegedly carjacked and shot a woman at Poplar Avenue and Evergreen Street in order to switch vehicles. He allegedly shot the woman around 7:23 p.m. and took off in her car, a gray Toyota SUV. That victim died at the scene. That's just sad, man. It might be somebody's sister, somebody's cousin, somebody's mother, somebody's wife. A minute later, officers found another shooting victim on Poplar Avenue and McLean Boulevard. The male victim was taken to the hospital in stable condition at 8:55 p.m. He was just going all over the place. Police found a woman with a gunshot wound on West Rains Road. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Just sadness, death, and mayhem in his wake. Kelly then crossed the state line and allegedly committed a second carjacking. He reportedly held a driver up at gunpoint and stole his Dodge Challenger at a gas station in South Haven, Mississippi. Do you think that would have been easy if he had a firearm with him and knew how to use it and had it at the ready and had plenty of ammo just in case he was a poor shot? The driver was uninjured. Minutes later, police spotted the Dodge Challenger northbound on Interstate 55, and a high-speed chase followed that ended with Kelly crashing the car. He was taken into police custody without incident. That's amazing. Police said they recovered 2 weapons from the car. Kelly's alleged shooting spree struck a nerve for many Memphis residents who are already reeling from a recent spate of violence and high-profile killings. Yeah, you want to kind of stay away from Memphis, and if you live in Memphis, you know what I'm talking about, including the abduction and murder of Tennessee school teacher Eliza Fletcher. This story is going to fade out very, very quickly, but it wouldn't if he had a different skin tone, and it wouldn't especially if he was a MAGA, Trump-supporting Republican. Oh man, fake stream CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird leftist media would capitalize on that truth if it truly was a truth. But when you're dealing with somebody like this, they let those stories die awfully quickly, don't they? I wonder why that is.